Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Season 14, Episode 10, overall 725 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, located at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com, for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of EVs, electric vehicles, as well as Cadillac vehicles as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210 and tell them Chris Palme sent you, or you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been family run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969, and they are the regional's dealership as well. I hope everyone's doing well on this Monday, June 22nd, 2026. It's 1 week, 7 days towards my 54th birthday next Monday night. And I might spend my birthday next Monday night in Toronto for the Blue Jays Mets game. And I had a really good weekend. I was at the Hamilton Tiger Cats BC Lions game Friday, covering the game for freelance media for myself. And then Saturday, I was at the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. So please make sure you check out all my YouTube channel, social media platforms for my interviews, pictures, and videos as well. And it's been a really busy month for me, not just with the talk show, but with my freelance media work. And I want to say thank you to the Niagara Falls Comic Con, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame, and of course the Toronto Argonauts for my media work as well and opportunities. I'm looking forward to my guest today. This is her first appearance on our show. I met her through TikTok, and I'm excited to have her on. She is a life coach. She's a speaker. She's the author, and she's the founder of her own company called Unlimited Help and Energy Solutions. And she's from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, the home of Bret Hart. And she's also going to be on our show right now. Jeneique Gomes, we're going to bring her on right now after this applause. Good evening. How are you? Was that
Hi,
okay
Chris.
for the opening intro? How are you?
That was awesome. Thank you. And you got my name right, so that's good. You get brownie points.
How many brownie points do I get?
54, because it's going to be your birthday soon, right?
Yes. Age is just a number. And it's, you know
Yes.
what? I don't feel 54. I when you love what you're doing, it just seems, I feel younger now being in my new career.
I love that.
And I'm sure you do too in your new career as well.
I do.
I want to say thank you so much for coming on my 725th episode. And how are you doing? And how are things out in Calgary and Alberta? And you got to tell us about your dog. I'm a big dog person. I volunteer at a local humane society too.
Oh, that's wonderful. So today the weather is a bit schizophrenic. So we've had some sun, and then it's a bit like windy now. So it's been up and down, up and down. So we've had a flavorful summer so far. A bit about my dog. He is a French bulldog. His name is Crux Napoleon. And he's 4 years old, and he's such a character. So you can always find him charging at bigger dogs and trying to take on bigger dogs. So that's why I always have to keep him on leash. and he's a spoiled brat.
How did you come about him?
So I really wanted to get a dog, and it was just with my own personal goals. I wanted to be more active and out and about because I found myself just being a bit of a homebody. So I went searching for a dog, and there's I guess it's a place that sell dogs. They sell premium dogs. And so as soon as I met Crux, he chose me. I didn't choose him. And he just started licking me all over. And I would never forget the
You know,
girls at the front desk. They told me, they said, "You have to take this dog home today. You have to take him. Like he's yours. It's meant to be." And I just grasped him in my arms and I took him home. And he's been the best thing that ever happened in my life since then. I love dogs.
you're okay with me too. So I'm number 2 then after him, right? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. But I volunteer. I've always adopted dogs and cats, and I volunteer at a local humane society twice a week, walking dogs and fundraising. And I love dogs and cats. Cats are good, but dogs are my number one love, and they just have unconditional love, and they always support you as long as you feed them.
I know, right? But I'm
I
curious.
do.
I'm curious because I've never had a cat. So
You never.
what's the dynamic between having a dog and having a cat? Like which one do you prefer?
A cat, basically, you just feed them, you change their cat box, you feed them, you spoil them, and then it's like, "Piss off, leave me alone, let me sleep and do my thing." Dogs, they're like more like kids, they're more active. Dogs are definitely, if you're a very active person, I would recommend a dog. If you're somebody that's like an older senior and you're not able to get out as much, not that seniors can't have dogs, but for people
Yeah,
that maybe aren't able to walk as much, cats would probably be a better option. And cats, I believe, should be kept inside. Too many cats are left outside and they end up getting hit by cars and stuff like that. Just like with dogs, I hate seeing dogs without being on a leash because I just nowadays,
I know.
I've seen it myself where I had a dog get hit by a car, and it's just devastating.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
I do have a viewer watching from Buffalo, New York. His name is Rob Schneider. He has his own podcast show. He wants to say hello to you and says the
Aw.
Tigers are leading the Yankees 5-1. So yeah, I met him a few years ago in Buffalo, New York, and he's always watching my shows. He's one of my biggest supporters.
Aw, that's awesome.
So,
Hello.
anyways, I wanted to ask you: are you originally from Calgary, Alberta, or did you just move there recently?
No, so I moved to Calgary about 10 years ago, and I moved from another province, Fredericton, New Brunswick, which I lived there for a few years. So I've been in Canada for over 20 plus years in total, but I've been back and forth between provinces. I'm originally from the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago. So
How much of an adjustment was it coming from the Caribbean, Trinidad to Canada, obviously New Brunswick? How much of an adjustment was it for you coming to Canada?
it was huge. It was huge, Chris. So I moved by myself. I forgot to add that point in. So I moved by myself when I was like 18 years old. And so, of course, I'm only 20 years old today. And
So am I. So am I.
right? And so it was just a change of the weather. That was the biggest thing for me to get accustomed to. And to this day, I don't love winter, but we have a newfound relationship with winter, right? So you have to fall in love with winter eventually if you're gonna
I
survive.
Yes, I love it. And this year we actually had a real winter here in Ontario, but I know in New Brunswick and probably Calgary, the winters probably last longer than they do here in Ontario.
Oh, I would be wearing my winter jackets in summer, the first year that I moved to Canada. I'd never forget that. It was hilarious. I came with my family. My mom was with me at the time, and people were laughing at us because we were wearing our winter jackets. We were so cold, and it was summertime.
Do you still have family in the Caribbean?
Yes, I do. So I just came back from my visit a few months ago in January, and I got to spend time with my family. I have a beautiful family back home as well. So I
Besides
go
your
visit
family,
every year.
what do you miss about the Caribbean?
The food.
The food. I've never
It's
been there.
it's
I've
great
never
food.
been there.
Yeah. And especially my mom's cooking. I actually talked about my mom's cooking in my book. That's how important my mom's cooking is to me. She makes the best meals ever. And shout out to my mom. I love her cooking. And she loves to cook. That's why the food tastes so good.
Well, say hi to your mom for me and tell her I'll be right over.
Okay, what is your favorite meal?
I love pasta. I love steak. I love pasta. I guess I'm a pasta guy. I love Italian food. Spicy food's good too.
Okay. Yes. Okay. You do spice. That's awesome. We
I
love
do
spice.
spice. Not as good as I used to be because I'm getting a little more older, but I still like spicy food and I like good food. Homemade food is
Yes.
the best.
100%. Me too.
Now, since you're from there, are you a fan of soccer, the World Cup? Are you following that too?
No, so I mentioned I'm not huge into sports. I'm
Sports.
not a huge sports fan, so I'm gonna, lean on your expertise so you can share some highlights of what's happening. But I do enjoy the World Cup, and I have watched a few of the
Yeah.
episodes, so it's going pretty good.
Now, what do you love the most about Calgary, Alberta? Obviously, maybe not the weather, but what do you love about the province and the city?
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. I would say the community. I would say that I love the fact that it's a younger city and it has a flair of, being a younger city, but also like an old town vibe. If I could describe it correctly. So it has a very unique flair to the city. And overall, it's vibrant. There's a lot of things to do here. You're never gonna have a bored moment. Like there's always something to do. So that is what I would love most about the city.
For those people that have never been to Calgary or the province of Alberta, including myself, what would you say why they should come? What would you recommend for sightseeing?
Well, Stampede is coming up. We have Stampede in July. Or they can come see me do my marathon next month, my half marathon.
16
That's happening.
kilometers, right? 16 kilometers?
It's 21 kilometers in total.
21. I don't know where I got 16 from. Okay. 21 kilometers. For me, I can do 1
Yeah.
kilometer. 1 kilometer for me.
Walking or running?
Congratulations.
Walking or
Walking.
running?
I used to be a good runner, but
Okay.
I am doing a running challenge in July for the Toronto Argonauts. I'm going to be doing a 40-yard dash. If I can do it under 20 seconds, the manager of media communications, who's really shy, is going to come on my show. So I'm going to make sure I'm in shape in July to do the 40-yard dash in 20 seconds.
Whoa. That's awesome.
I
That's really good.
Yes, and I will film it too. So, but
Yeah.
congratulations on going on the marathon. What made you decide to go into a marathon?
Yeah. So for me, it was very symbolic, Chris. So I talk a bit about my story that I got to the point where I was completely bedridden. I was stuck in the house for 3 months. I couldn't leave due to anxiety, depression, all of it. Just experiencing extreme burnout. And so I was just stuck at home and not wanting to leave, not wanting to be seen, not wanting to be visible. So the marathon was more symbolic. It was just a representation of emotional resilience and being comfortable with finding my voice again, being comfortable with being seen, and just trying to inspire my clients and all my followers to really step out and be true to themselves and walk in their calling and in their voice. So
Now, I can relate to I was in another career for about almost 24 years, and I was
okay.
playing small and shrinking. Was that what you were doing as well at the end of your corporate career too?
Yeah. So with my corporate career, it was a mix of both. So corporate and also my personal life, I found myself shrinking. And it really came down to the fact that I didn't trust myself. And that's a major part of the work that I do today. It's helping women to rebuild their self-trust. Because I think that a lot of us, we don't focus on what is the real underlying issue, right? So I call myself a personal trainer for emotional resilience for women. And I talk about the actual problem. So why is it that we need to have emotional resilience as women? Why is it that we're shrinking in the first place? And there's a macro and micro level of the problem. And on a macro level, we have the environment. What are the expectations today of women? So women are the caretakers. They're there to keep everything together, right? And what happens is that allows us to be productive without understanding what's happening internally to us. And so we take it a step further and you'd say, okay, well, women just get support. But therapy is expensive, right? Mental health is intimidating. And also when you look at, asking for help, there's a negative stigma around that too. Okay. So then you have the micro level of the problem where it's the individual experience. So that same woman that's shrinking herself is waking up every day and she's asking, okay, why is it hard for me to set boundaries? Why am I shrinking? What's happening? And it just comes down to self-trust. It comes down to women just not trusting themselves. And the process for me was having to rebuild my life from scratch and really learn to find my voice, stop shrinking, and to walk in my power, pretty much. So that's what I do today with helping women and coaching women.
Jeneique, I want to get your opinion on this as well. Do you find mental health and empathy is shrinking these days due to the internet, social media, and also during the pandemic as well?
Yeah. So I don't think that I would say that it's shrinking. What I would say is that people are struggling with self-worth. They're struggling with self-doubt. They're struggling with confidence. And when there's no self-trust, you find yourself in a situation where rejection and criticism and toxic environments seems to have more of an impact on you than it actually is, right? Because everything seems heavier. Everything seems more emotionally overwhelming because at that point you're allowing people to kind of destabilize your identity. So the work really comes with owning who you are, understanding, who you are as a person in your own identity, so that these situations and criticism and people's actions don't fluctuate how you feel about yourself. So yeah, that's the underlying issue. It's more of when people become more confident in themselves, they're going to be less affected by the environment around them.
100% agree, and I can relate being from a toxic environment into a positive environment, and it really has made a difference. And also, I wanted to get your thoughts on this too. Do you find with social media nowadays and all the pressures out there that belittling is more too? And do you find women belittle each other more than men do?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I would say that women naturally are more sensitive beings. And so that means that we would take certain situations, we would take certain encounters. I guess I mean that it would be more important to us, right? So women would have more experiences with interacting with each other, having an opinion about something, right? And that's just our natural makeup. Whereas men, they seem to be a bit more nonchalant when it comes to those things. So it would be a mix of both.
Jeneique, where did you attend school, and did you have any influences and mentors?
Yeah, so I currently have an excellent business mentor right now that I quite enjoy. And so I've been to university. I went to university in Canada here. I did my bachelor's in finance, human resource management, and considering my master's, bit indifferent about it, making a decision on that. But yeah, I did go to university. I went to UNB here in Fredericton, New Brunswick.
Can you tell our audience a little bit about your 14-year career in the corporate world and what that experience was like, and what made you decided it was time to move on after 14 years, which is a good long run?
Right? I know. And seeing that I'm only 20 years old, it
Yes,
just
I'm only 19. You're 20 and I'm 19.
I love that we're getting younger with the minutes, right? We're getting younger. Okay, so for me, I spent my last 14 years in corporate banking. And during that time, I started to see subtle signs of burnout, right? And for me, what that looked like was I started showing up late for meetings. And honestly, Chris, I was a perfectionist. Okay. So first at work, last one to leave. So I knew that it was very out of character for me. I started struggling to wake up and just get ready for work every day. And I started to forget things. Like I forgot people's names. I forgot, very administrative tasks, things that I would never forget to do. And so I knew something was wrong, but I didn't have the language for it at the time. And I also didn't want anyone to know that I was struggling, because when you think about it in corporate banking, mental health issues and managing people's finances, right? They don't go hand in hand. So I didn't want anyone to find out. I was embarrassed. And I told myself, okay, if I just keep working through this, everything's going to be okay. So I kept working through, and then I finally just reached my breaking point. I had to take intentional time off work due to burnout. And when I was at home during that time, I remember I just woke up one night and I was just staring at the ceilings, bawling my eyes out, because it had gotten to the point where I couldn't leave the house for 3 months. I was getting panic attacks. So, Chris, I would be at Costco and my hands would be shaking like this.
Oh, I can relate. I can relate.
From panic attacks. And I think the scariest thing for me was just not knowing what was happening. And again, refuse to get help, because I am this hyper independent, superwoman that can do anything. And I refused to get help. I thought I can just figure it out, keep, working through it. And it was just during that time, that's when I realized that if you don't take care of your emotional needs, your body is eventually going to force you to stop and pay attention. And so I made a decision. I made 2 decisions that day. First, I decided that, okay, if I'm going through this, there's other women that are going through the same things that I am going through. And the second decision that I made is that if I get through this period of my life, this season of my life, I'm going to spend the rest of my life working, coaching, and helping women so they don't reach the same breaking point that I did. So I did therapy for 2 years. I finally caved. Right? So I'm here to make therapy look cool. I finally caved in. I did therapy for 2 years, and I started to just focus a lot on personal development content. So Chris, it was probably about a year from reading books, following content, podcast, and I started documenting like crazy, documenting the changes that were happening in my life, documenting what I was seeing. And so I built my framework during my own healing season. And that's a framework that I use today to work with women and to help them through their most difficult seasons. So it's been such a rewarding experience. Looking back now, everything was completely meant to be to get me where I'm at today. And I absolutely love the work that I do. This is my dream job. And so, it's been such a great journey as well so far.
Jeneique, for those people that are watching our shows, both male, females, whatever background you are, and they're struggling, they're going through burnout, anxiety, feeling overwhelmed. From your experience, Jeneique, what advice would you give to those people?
Yeah. Oh, this brings back so many memories, right? Because I was there at like the darkest hour, like the bottom of the pits, right? You hit rock bottom. I was like swimming in rock bottom. And what my advice would just be, trust the process. Trust the process. Don't give up. I know it sounds cheesy, it sounds fluffy, it sounds all the things, but don't give up. Keep pushing, and you will get out of this season of your life. You will, and it will all make sense. It will just click. It will click for you.
How important is it to have a strong support system too?
Oh, extremely important. And I talk about this in my book. My psychologist literally was one of the moving factors in my life. And it came down to your environment, right? Understanding what environments are toxic, understanding what environments you are shrinking in, and having the strength to walk away. It's a first step, and then building your support system. So you want to be around environments that make you feel safe, environments that make you feel seen, environments that encourage you to show up as you are with your voice and who you are. And you want to make sure that that is the most important thing, because everything matters. Every step matters. Everything that you watch, every person that you talk to, right? It all adds up. And especially when you're in that, I call it like that sensitive time where, you're very reactive, right? You would see something, everything is a trigger, you're in that space where things feel a bit hopeless, right? Having a supportive environment, just like you mentioned, Chris, is the most important thing.
You want to be in an environment that you grow and not shrink and play small.
100%. Because that's where. Sorry, continue.
Sorry, I was going to say, do you still find there's a lot of women specifically that still play small?
Oh, 100%. 100%. And it's because they don't trust themselves. It's because they don't trust themselves, right? And I talked about the macro and micro problem. And we've just been through our learned behaviors that everyone else's needs is more important than our own. We have to make people feel comfortable. We have to put their needs in front of our own. We have to make sure everyone feels at home, everyone's having a great experience. But what we don't realize is that every time we abandon ourselves, what's happening is that we're losing the self-trust, and there's also emotional consequences that comes with those actions. And so you find yourself making a decision and then second guessing yourself. You find yourself wanting to start your business, but you can't take that next step. And it's because you don't trust yourself, right? So you need to do the inner work. You need to have the supportive system, and you need to do my program. Because that's what my program does. It explores the 4 pillars of transformation. So confidence, boundaries, clarity, groundedness. So it helps you to build that emotional resilience so that you can find the strength within to make those decisions.
You mentioned your program and your sessions. Can you explain to how people who are watching live stream or on audio can contact you and get involved with your programs?
Yes. So I'm going to spice it up because you said you like spicy food, right?
Yes.
So we're going to spice it up a bit. For the first 10 people that reach out to me, either from this live today or before end of day tomorrow, they will get a free copy of my book. Okay. We'll start the process there. And then also they just can DM me on Instagram, ready. That's step 1. Just send me a DM. And then what's going to happen is we'll book a discovery call. There's an application process. And then there's also a client brochure that I will send with regards to my program. And then I'll answer any questions that they have for me at that point in time.
Now, are your sessions all virtual or some in person as well? And how long is an actual session with you?
Yeah, so on average, it's an hour, right? So it's a free discovery call for the first 30 minutes. And then if we decide to work together, then it will be an hour session. And that's just our introductory session. And then we will start the program. But everything is virtual as of right now. And if there's a need where there needs to be a face-to-face, then we can arrange that as well.
By the way, I have some viewers watching. One of the viewers, her name is Emma Miller. She is an author of a book, a children's book here called The Doonies. She's going to be on my show Wednesday. So I want to say
Oh,
hi
that's
to Emma.
exciting.
I want to say hi to Emma Miller. And she'll be
Yeah.
on my show this Wednesday, June 24th at 7 o'clock. And then I have a gentleman watching our show on YouTube called Man Dog 2026. He has a couple of questions for you for you, Jeneique. Is that okay? He always asks really good questions too.
Sure.
The first question, he's watching from YouTube. He says, "Hello, Jeneique. Thank you for being here. What corporate mindset did you have to unlearn to find your true purpose as a coach?" Great question.
That's such a beautiful question. And I would say that that's such a great question. I would say that the biggest mindset that I had to unlearn was limited beliefs. And I think that what I would say is that a corporate atmosphere, a corporate environment is different for everyone. There are some people out there that thrive in the corporate world, okay, that were just meant to excel, and that's their gig. But for myself, I was always drawn to entrepreneurship. I always wanted to start my own business supporting women. I just didn't have the idea at the time of how and when. And the universe kind of just put everything together for me to figure that out. And so I had to stop just limiting my beliefs, because for 14 years, corporate was all that I knew and I was good at it. Okay. And so I enjoyed it. And there were parts of it that I absolutely loved because I was very ambitious. So I got that reward that I wanted. But I knew that I was shrinking myself. I knew that there was more, but I was just afraid to make that step. So I had to unlearn the limited beliefs that corporate was the only thing I would be good at. Corporate was the only world that I knew. And I had to step out into the unknown, step out into just trusting myself, trusting my capabilities, that whatever I put my mind to, whatever business idea that I went with would work, and it would be all part of the big plan.
How would you describe yourself as an entrepreneur? And Man Dog, he's got a couple more questions we'll get to in a minute, but how would you describe yourself as an entrepreneur?
I would describe myself as a servant leader, a servant leader. So every single person that I encounter, I always say, okay, what can I learn from this person? And I think that that has been just, what makes my work so enjoyable, because even though I'm coaching people, I know that I'm also learning from them as well. And it's just been the greatest part of being part of their journeys, and knowing that we're going through it together. So, because as you mentioned, Chris, we're both learning every single day. You don't ever stop learning, right?
Nope.
So it's having that community and learning from everyone.
Man Dog 2026, again, watching on YouTube. Thanks, buddy, for watching. Says, do corporate women struggle constantly with the fear of looking unsuccessful from your perspective?
Okay, that's an interesting question. I want more. So when he says fear of looking unsuccessful, give me an example of that.
Basically, looking unsuccessful, like not being afraid to stand out, being afraid to stand out.
Being afraid to stand out. Yeah. I'm not sure. I would say that, a fear of looking unsuccessful is quite a generic, right? It's quite a generic way of thinking. And so that experience can be felt by anyone, not just women in corporate.
Jeneique, Mandog has another question for you, and then we'll get back to my questions. And I thank you for this question. He says, what's the biggest mistake women make when trying to power through a crisis?
What's the biggest mistake when women are trying to power through a crisis? Okay, yeah, these are really great questions, Mandog. I would say that it would be self-doubt. It would be self-doubt and trying to control the situation. And that's something that I had to learn the hard way during my own seasons and my own journey. It was a difference between trying to find clarity during the crisis or trying to control the outcome within the crisis, right? So you're doing behaviors that you just want answers, you just want control. But sometimes you just have to let life flow. Sometimes you have to just build yourself through it and work through it, right? Work through the emotions. And so if you find yourself trying to control and get answers, that's one of the biggest mistakes that you can make, because that's what leads to burnout, right? That's what leads to self-doubt.
Do you feel we're seeing more burnout from both women and men these days?
Yes, yes. And I think it has a lot to do with distractions. I feel like sometimes we put a lot of our attention in distractions, escapism. We do things that sometimes aren't the healthiest behaviors, right? And so that really contributes to that overall feeling as well.
Do you find attention spans for both women and men are shrinking these days due to the internet and social media and technology?
Yes, and I think we talked about this too, Chris, that you have to keep your videos to 15 seconds long.
It seems like it. I just did one that was 14 seconds and I have 18,000 views. 18,000. It's just amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's definitely that it's more of that just addictive behaviors, right? That we are just constantly searching for stimulation, external validation. So again, to Mandog's question of unlearned behaviors, we have to unlearn that behavior of, when we feel that urgency of, scroll time and spending hours on social media and just, wanting to have that stimuli in everywhere that we go, and we're constantly searching for that. It starts with awareness of, okay, why do I feel like I need to have constant validation, right? Where is that feeling coming from? And it starts with awareness and unlearning that behavior.
What are your thoughts on AI nowadays?
I love AI. I feel as though AI can be used as an enhancement. It can be used as a tool to really propel you to your next step, your next level, right? Just as you would use the internet to find answers or to explore data or to explore different ideas, you can use AI as a tool for your next path in life. What are your thoughts on AI?
I think it's good and bad. I do think it is kind of shrinking some of the workforce. but I think also it can help the workforce if you use it the right way. I don't think anyone should ever be 100% reliant on it, but with me, I do sometimes use AI for my editing my videos when I'm really busy and I don't have a lot of time. Using AI to help edit my videos into clips and reels because everybody likes 15-20 second video clips helps me out, but I still know how to do editing video on myself. So I do use it occasionally, but I use it in moderation in that because nowadays I'm hearing it from AI is kind of reducing the workforce. I think it is a good tool, but you can't always be 100% reliant on it. In my
Yes.
opinion,
So,
in my opinion. I think
yeah,
if
so
you
there's
use it the
good and
right
bad.
way, if you use it the right way, it's a good tool, just like social media. If you use social media the right way, it's a good
Yes.
tool. It's like alcohol. If you're responsible with something, it can be a good tool.
And what's a good thing about that too that you mentioned, because I like what you said with the adaptability piece, right? Because AI will be replacing jobs, and that's factual data. But at this point, it also forces us as humanity to really tap into our own creativity and adaptability. And I think that's what's going to be a game changer as well.
Now, do you feel creativity is shrinking these days, or do you think it's increasing with AI?
That's a great question. That's a great question. And I think that it definitely allows you to use your creativity. And some people may prefer not to want to experience that, right? And the reason I say that is that tapping into your creativity takes a certain type of energy, right? And you're going into a space where it's no longer very conservative. It's more on the uncertain side of things. And so some people may feel a bit of discomfort going into that phase of their life, but creativity is definitely where it's at, right? And it's where you get to learn yourself. You learn through the journey of entrepreneurship, right? How so many things that you never even knew about yourself. So every day you're constantly learning, you're constantly growing, and that's the best part of it.
Jeneique, we're going to play a little video clip from your TikTok page. How can people follow you on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook? And do you have any plans for a website in the future?
So I currently do have a website, but I would say for everyone to hold off on going to my website. I'm in the process of working with my marketing team, and we have a lot of exciting things planned over the next 2 to 3 months. So get excited because there's going to be some big changes. So currently the website right now it's on my not YouTube, Instagram, and I can also send it on TikTok as well if that's the platform of preference for you. But they can definitely check me out there or send me a DM on Instagram. That's usually how I speak to my clients right now.
Do you have an email where people can reach you through an email?
Sure, yes. So they can reach me on my private email. It's jeneique.jg@gmail.com if they would prefer to send me an email.
And Jeneique, we're going to play this little clip right now from your TikTok page. Please let me
Okay.
know if you can hear the audio. If we can't, we'll fire the audio guy, which is myself. Just bear with me 1 second. I try to be funny. That's why I'm not in comedy. So just bear with me 1 second. I thought this video clip from your TikTok page was great.
We are training for a half marathon. It's less than a month away now, and we're going to increase training to the next level. Right, Crux? Yes. So we're heading to a spin class now. I'm running late, so I'm rushing a bit. And then we have to do a 16-kilometer run. I know, it's intense, but we got to do it. So come with me.
While we work out together, let's talk about friendships. One of the biggest lessons I've learned recently is that having compassion for someone doesn't mean they belong in your inner circle. I know it sounds harsh, but hear me out. For a long time, I thought that being a good person meant accepting everyone, understanding them, making space for them, but that's not the same as alignment, which means I can respect someone and still recognize that our values, conversations, and energies don't match. I can wish someone well and still choose not to build a deeper relationship.
Guys, I survived, but I barely survived. So next week, we're gonna have to take it to next level. Okay, I missed the spin class because I came too late. Next week, taking things to next level.
Okay, back to what I was saying. I can still have compassion without sacrificing my peace. Not every friendship is meant to become a lifelong connection, because sometimes the lesson is learning to honor your own preferences. The people you spend time with influence your thoughts, your habits, your mindset, and your growth. Choosing environments that support who you're becoming isn't judgmental, it's self respect. The goal isn't to find people who are perfect. The goal is to find people who feel aligned.
So guys,
Thoughts, Jeneique, on this video? I thought it was outstanding, and a lot of it is true, and I've experienced it.
100%. And you know what the truth is, Chris? When I changed my environments, that's when my entire life changed. And that's a lot of the part of what I bring up in my work with my clients. It's really honing in on your environment and knowing what supports you, knowing where you feel safe, and where you feel safe to be seen and heard, right? And it's through that self-reflection that you can understand like what's healthy for you and what's not healthy for you. And it's, again, going back to the unlearned behavior, it's understanding that it's not about, oh, am I a good person or am I a bad person because, you know, I'm walking away from this environment. It's stop abandoning yourself and to really you see the changes in your own life when you make those steps, when you make those changes for yourself.
I know my inner circle, since I switched careers 7 years ago, has shrunk, and also too, I've friends come and go. I've changed. People change over time, and I'm now around people that are positive towards me, and they encourage me and they support me, and stuff like that. But also, one thing I wanted to mention this too, especially in the media industry, know the difference between acquaintance and friendships, because too many people mix acquaintances as friends, and you have to be able to separate acquaintances from friendships.
Yeah. And I would say too, just to add to that, it would be what your inner circle looks like, right? So that's the intimacy. That's the people that get to see all sides of you, right? They know everything. That's the people that you can call on for support. And they really, they know the ins and outs of your day, of your life. And for acquaintances, they serve a particular purpose, whether it's a mutual beneficial relationship, whether it's it's someone that you want to learn something from, but there's definitely a distinction between the two types of friendships for sure.
Jeneique, how would you describe your coaching style, and how satisfying is it being able to share your experiences with other women?
Yeah. So one thing that's the most important thing that stands out about my work, and that is what makes me really unique in the marketplace, is emotional safety. That's my number one thing. And so with my book, that really shares my own personal journey. And what I love most about my book is that it shows the human experience of being a woman, right? The different things that we go through. And women, especially my clients that read my book, they can relate to it, and they come to the realization that what they're carrying, they're not carrying it alone, right? So even if a lot of people aren't speaking up about it, even if their experiences are not seen, unheard. Reading my book changes that for them. And so with my personal journey, they get to have an example of what that looks like and what they're going through. And then also with my work, emotional safety is the foundation of my coaching.
What was your main inspiration in becoming an author and writing a book called Shh, Don't Tell, and your mini book, Returning to Clarity, Faith, and Self-Trust?
For me, it was my own personal journey of having to come out of rock bottom and connecting to my spiritual aspect, because I talk a bit about that in my work and in my book. The importance of spirituality and that being part of the journey. And so reconnecting with God, source, whatever name works for you, that was also a big aspect and inspiration as part of my work as well.
Mandog 2026 is watching on YouTube. He has another question for you. Do you think self-realization of ability and power to succeed critical in life changes? Where does your overall energy come from? Good question.
Oh my gosh. I think this guy's a philosopher, eh? That's such a great question. So where does my energy come from? I think that there's a part of a situation of journey, I should say journey of entrepreneurship, when you realize that this ain't you alone. Right? And the energy, the business ideas, and just being able to continue moving forward and taking things to the next level. Because that's just, my entire life Chris, I've been told that I am very intense. I'm an intense human being. And so I have learned to not only own it, but realize that it's definitely coming from above. It's more than just myself at this point, especially through my experiences. And so that's why this spiritual aspect is so important, because it's definitely more than within your power.
Jeneique, do you find there's more female entrepreneurs now or going into their own businesses than ever before?
Yeah, I believe there's a new trend, right? And I think you've seen that as well on your side too, Chris, where women are taking a step in faith, a leap of faith, and really starting to follow their passions in life. So we're seeing an uprise of artists that's entering in the market space. We're seeing an uprise of women that are just stepping out and deciding to, walk in their truth, walk in their voice. And it's a beautiful thing to see.
Going to put you on the spot with this next question. What was the process like of writing your book? And did you ever experience any type of writer's block at any point of the process?
Yeah. So for my followers, the ones that have followed me for years, I have been talking about writing a book for about 3 years in total. I didn't know when I wanted to start it, and I didn't know how or what. And so it just came down to one night of getting an urge to just write. And to be honest, it just started flowing. It was a flow. I didn't experience writer's block. And I think it was because subconsciously I wanted to write this book so badly, but I was just living in fear of doing it. And then when I finally made the decision, all the pieces just came together. Everything just connected. And so it all came together quite nicely.
How did you come up with the title of the book? And did you publish the book or self-publish it?
I self-published the book, and the title was Shh, Don't Tell. And it came from just my experience of shrinking, being afraid to be seen, not wanting to be visible, right? And Don't Tell talked about a lot of the topics of a female experience that women don't talk about, that we don't really talk about much in society. So it was kind of exposing that journey and the truth of what I experienced, and we didn't hold back. So so that's where the name came from.
How would you describe yourself as a writer?
I would describe myself as just a truth teller, right? Moving to Canada by myself from the age of 18, that came with a lot of experiences. Good, bad, and ugly. And so I wanted my book to be an authentic truth to my experience. And I wanted it to make sure that whoever read my book, the reader would have an experience of knowing that whatever they're carrying, they're not carrying it alone. And so, yeah, that's how I would describe it.
I think you just answered my next question. What do you want your readers, women, to take from your book? And do you find, have you sold some books to men too?
To my knowledge, it's only been women. And so I have received calls from women just calling me in tears, like, oh my gosh, that book touched me. That book changed my life. And that has been the most rewarding experience, right? And I think that that's what most entrepreneurs, we all have in common. Like we're just here to make a difference. We're here to make the world a better place. And so I hope that my book inspires women to just never give up on their dreams in life and know that your rock bottom is actually the beginning of your transformation. That's what I want my book. That's what I want my message from my book to be to women that read it.
How can our audience purchase your book online?
So my book right now is available on Amazon, and it's available on my website as well. So on my website, it's in my Instagram profile. There's a link at the top that they can go and they can order it through there. Or if the first 10 people that reach out on Instagram, they will get a free copy of my book.
What about, have you done any book signings yet?
No, but funny enough, I've been getting a lot of outreach, and it's funny that you brought that up. I recently got an opportunity where that is something that would be coming up probably in the next 3 months, a book signing opportunity. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
And perhaps maybe you'll sign a book for me, because I'd love to read your book and support your work.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Are you okay for a few more questions, a few more minutes?
Sure.
Okay.
Course.
Another
this
question.
Has been fun.
Hey, that's my job, Mr. Fun. My job is to make sure my guests are in it. My job as a talk show host is to make sure it's a good conversation, good storytelling, and they can share their stories here as well. I'm going to put you on the spot with this question, Jeneique. Any future plans for more books in the future?
Of course. And I think this happens to all writers, that once they get over the threshold of the first book, they're going to write another one. And I actually talk about the part 2 in my book as well, that there will be a part 2, but I'm going to keep that a secret.
What are your thoughts on the book industry shrinking? Everything is going to digital. Do you still feel there's a market for hard copy books?
Yes, I definitely think there's still a market for it. So we talked a bit about AI before, and with AI, yes, technically we're going to have a loss of jobs, but there's always going to be a need for human connection. And I feel that would be very much the same situation with hardcover books. it comes down to the experience, right? And for book lovers, I'm an avid reader. I'm sure you are too as well, Chris. I always like a bit of both. And I'm a bit of a nerd as well. So sometimes I would book my weekends in advance where I would choose a book and I would choose a book of my choice. And that would be like my highlight for my Saturday night, right? Versus, the Audible versions. And that's more of just a quick fix when you really need something and you want to just get through it. But when you want to enjoy a book for what it is, truly getting a hardcover is more about the experience itself and to be more intentional. And it's also a challenge too, where I know that, tension is hard these days. And so to really put yourself through reading a full book through and through, it's a good way for you to start practicing that skill of not being addicted to, constant external stimuli.
Who are some of your favorite authors, and what, in your opinion, makes a really good book?
So I actually just quoted a book. I'm going to post it on my content, one that I recently read. I like thought-provoking books that really make you think outside of the box. And for instance, the most recent book that I read, of course, I'm not going to remember the author's name. I'll post it to you after the call. But it was about these clones that were just born into this environment, and they never really questioned their fate. They never really questioned anything. They were born into a school. They were born into a routine. They were just born into a way of life. And the book really got you to think outside the box of, why don't we question things? Why don't we question things about the way of life? And so we're going into like the philosophical theory-based thing here, right? Where I can take us down a rabbit hole. But it's very thought-provoking. And I think that that's where that creativity comes from, and just being able to think outside the box. So that's what I look for in books today.
Jeneique, as we wrap up the show in a couple minutes, I'm curious, what's the process like in training for a marathon? How many months have you been training now, preparation for this?
Okay, so I didn't tell you the full story of the marathon. I just decided, it was out of fluke, that I signed up for a 10K. And during my 10K experience, as soon as I finished and I realized that I survived, I'm like, okay, we need to take this to the next level. And I quickly just signed up for the half marathon. So I had a month, and exactly a month time to train for this half marathon. So I do have a personal trainer. She's amazing. And she basically was like, girl, you're crazy. But we're going to do this together. And so she has me on a very strict routine in terms of my diet and training, so that I can actually survive. But that was another example of just, making a decision, going with it, going with the flow. And everything just came together, right, to make it work. So now I feel a bit more confident going into it. But to answer your question, it's more about the consistency and showing up every day for the runs and being mentally prepared, and just having the energy to put in through the run, so that on the day you can feel confident that you'd actually be able to finish the race, right? So it's exciting. It's very exciting. Nonetheless,
I will hold off in sending you cakes and pies for a while then.
Please do that. I do not need that in my life right now. I already have so much temptations around me, and I'm constantly trying
mindset, discipline and mindset. That's something I'm working on. Hey, I wanted to ask you about this too. Obviously, cardio is important in running a marathon, but tell us a little bit about making sure you have the right footwear to do a marathon too.
Yeah, so I went to the Runners Club, I believe it's called, and they did like a full analysis on me to make the best recommendations. And from my research as well, I wasn't getting a new shoe. And then that's another thing that my trainer recommended as well, in terms of nutrition, but also the physical aspect of it, that the shoes are one of the most important things. And so it's been such a great investment for me since I've gotten my shoe. It's been a game changer. It's definitely changed my run. So I would highly recommend that you go get yourself checked properly and put the investment into getting the right proper shoes for the run.
You definitely don't want to wear high heel shoes for a marathon.
Would you believe that while we were running the 10K, this was the funniest part. We were running and like I am completely out of breath and I'm like about to faint. And the guy who was like, he's basically just, like navigating everyone, making sure they make the right path. He looks to us and says, just so you know, somebody did this 10K in heels.
Wow.
And I just looked to the person that I was running, like we're both like dying together. And I looked at her and she looked at me like, whatever, right? But that gave me the idea, like maybe somebody did do this in heels. Can you imagine, Chris, what that would be like?
I don't know how women can wear high heel shoes. It looks painful.
Well, I love heels, so that's okay. You won't get it. That's okay.
Favorite color? What's your favorite color?
Sandy pink. I don't think that's a surprise, right? I do love pink. I am into the pinks and the corals. I love the coral colors as well.
Now, if you had a choice between cake and pie, what would it be? Cake or pie?
Ooh, that's a hard one. That's the hardest question for the whole thing today. I would say velvet cake. Red velvet cake is one of my favorites. So I would have to choose the cake. Oh, for you as well?
Yes, red velvet.
It's something about a red velvet. It's something about.
I agree.
Yeah, something about a red velvet cake.
And as for pie, blueberry pie.
Ooh, blueberry. I'm not really a pie lover. And I feel like here's the thing with pie, there's a bit more chance of inconsistency with pie versus a cake. So the likelihood of you having a bad velvet cake versus a bad pie, you see where I'm going with this? So that's one of the reasons why I would choose cake over pie any day.
By the way, I covered a butter tart cheesecake taco festival a couple weeks ago here in Ontario, and I got a lot of free samples. So unfortunately, being in media, I sometimes get to taste good food, but cheesecake is good too. Cheesecake and butter tarts. Do you like butter tarts? Do you know what they are?
No, actually, I don't think
butter
I've had
tarts. Okay, butter
tart.
tarts are our Canadian tradition. It's a pastry. You can have them with walnuts, raisins, walnuts, or plain. So when you go to Calgary, look for butter after your marathon. Wait till your marathon's over before you, because it's not healthy food. It tastes good, but after your marathon's over, treat yourself to a butter tart, and you'll thank CDP for it.
Wow. Okay, and you also had a really delicious looking burger the other day that I was like just frothing at the mouth watching you eat it. How was that burger?
From one
was it good?
That was from Jack's Pancake Factory. They are a breakfast and lunch place here. They got the best pancakes in Canada, in my opinion. So they asked me if I could, as a content creator, try one of their cheeseburgers. Homemade, wasn't frozen, wasn't greasy. It was done perfectly. And I'm hoping to have Jack's Pancake Factory on as an advertiser. So I'm working on them because I really like their food, especially their pancakes and now their burger. And they're really good people there, good customer service. Now, do you have a particular favorite restaurant in Calgary that you like to go to?
Oh, you're putting me on this spot here because I'm a big foodie. And I love exploring all different types of restaurants, all different types of foods. So I'm not going to call my favorite one because I have at least five of them. Yeah, that are my go-tos.
I have three.
But I enjoy the pastas. I'm more of like an Italian pasta person, and that's my cheat meal, like a good Alfredo. Right?
I love it.
That's gonna be my cheat meal. That's gonna be my cheat meal after the marathon.
with some pesto sauce on it. Pesto sauce.
Ooh. Yeah. And garlic bread. We can't forget the garlic bread. Don't forget the garlic bread.
And speaking of garlic bread, there's a website, garlicking.ca. They have the best garlic spread in Canada. So garlicking.ca. They're out of St. Jacobs, Ontario. So a big shout out to them. So hopefully one day maybe I'll have to ship some garlic butter out to you.
Or you just come to Calgary.
I've never been there. I've never been there.
You've
And I
never
have and I have a friend that he lives in Sylvan Lake, Alberta, which isn't far from Calgary. So maybe
Okay.
that'll give me an excuse, because I've had a number of guests on from Western Canada and they're telling me how great it is. And I've been to more of the states in my own country. And I think in the next few years, that's going to change without getting the politics. I definitely want to get out to Western Canada, and specifically Alberta and BC. Not that I don't have anything against Saskatchewan or Manitoba, but I would say BC and Alberta would be on my bucket list, 1 and 2.
Okay. Well, if ever Calgary comes into your path, you have a new friend here.
Who's
to
that?
Definitely show you around. Myself.
Who's that? Oh, you. Oh, okay. I got you. Hey, as we wrap up the show, Jeneique, what's up next? What's up next for yourself and your company, Unlimited Hope and Energy Solutions? What's next up?
Yeah. So my vision and my mission for my company, my business, is to not only empower women, but to really just continue to raise the awareness of having women stop shrinking themselves.
Like myself.
And to get out of survival mode, stop surviving every day and start thriving, start enjoying their lives, start waking up excited, start waking up alive again, right? So that person that mentioned, like, where's your energy coming from? And it's from doing the work. It's from my program. And so part of that is going to be my outreach of really building awareness and starting the movement of change. And so it's going to be so excited. And this was the first platform. Thank you, Chris, for allowing me to be here today. It's been so much fun. And that's definitely the start of the next step. Continue to build awareness, continue to build outreach, and get the word out there.
Any plans for a future podcast of your own?
You are the second person this week that actually mentioned that to me.
I'm not a second. I'm not the first.
You're the second person. So this is probably feedback from the universe. I have to look into it. Maybe. You know what? I've learned that anything goes. Every day is just, okay, something new comes up. All right, let's get her done.
I have the name for your podcast show already picked out.
Okay, what is it?
Stop Shrinking Yourself by Jeneique Gomes.
I actually like that. I like that.
Do you really? Really?
I do like it. A little bit lengthy, but we can maybe shorten it and make it work. But yeah, maybe a podcast in future that can be added to the list for sure.
If there was one actress in the world that could play Jeneique Gomes, who would it be?
Scarlett Johansson.
Why?
Because I really enjoy her acting, and I feel that she's an extremely talented woman. And from what I've learned about her and from what I've seen on different air shows, is that she has a bit of versatility to her. So I think that she would be very good in different fields. And she seems to be a bit of a creative. She has a creative streak as well. So something about her I find mysterious and intriguing at the same time. And I feel that she'll be good at playing my character.
And Mandog 2026 watching on YouTube, he has one last comment. He just says, you're an incredible inspiration to both women and men. Men just need to listen and pay attention. Thank you for your message. And Mandog, I want to say thank you for your friendship, support, and your great questions as well. And final thoughts. And what other advice would you give to Mandog 2026?
Yeah, I think that it's, we, because of our inner critics and we're so hard on ourselves. I think we talked about this, Chris, today, that it's very easy for us to just always see what we need to work on, what we can get better at, what we need to stop doing. But we need to start switching that and start to appreciate how amazing we already are.
Mindset.
For everything that we've been through, for how we keep showing up, for how creative, how talented we are, how brilliant we are as human beings coming together, collaborating, the creativity, there's just such wow and wonder to experience. And so instead of just focusing on what can I do better, we need to start focusing on how amazing we already are. And so I would just say to Mandog, thank you for the comment. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And to continue just shining your light in your space as well.
What's one what's one fun fact about yourself, Jeneique Gomes? One fun fact about yourself. Put you on the spot here. No pressure.
One fun fact about myself. You know what? You got me. You got me on this one. So we talked about the marathon. I think that's the highlight of what's happening right now. And I think the fact that I just absolutely love dogs. My dog, Crux Napoleon, is a very big part of my life. And so my day goes around with, what's going to be fun for him, what new parks we can go to. To make myself sound very interesting right now. But that's something fun I like to do. Reading books, being out in nature is a big thing for me too. And now planning my business has consumed my entire life. But that's the most fun part.
And this is your first podcast show that you've been on.
I know. This is monumental. and this has been great. Thank you for being easy on me, Chris.
You're welcome. And I just got 2 quick questions right here. This one we're going to wrap up with ask the host CDP a question. Do you have a question to put me on the hot seat as we wrap this up?
Yeah. So I want to know what is your most favorite part of your job? What is the most favorite part of your job? What do you love doing the most? And what is the message that you want your audience to know from watching CDP live? So that's 2 in 1 questions.
Wow, putting me on the spot.
Back at you.
I love what I'm doing. I love connecting with people. I've had people on from 10 different countries around the world. I've learned about other countries, connecting with people, and also learning from every guest that comes on. And whether I'm in Toronto or Hamilton or wherever I'm from media, just connecting with people. And I have an ability to connect with strangers as well. And with celebrities I've been meeting, I just talk to them like I talk to anyone else. You treat everyone the same. We're all human beings. So I would say connecting with people and storytelling, learning from all my guests. Everybody I interview, everybody I come across or on my show, I love doing this. I'm very passionate. So I speak to local high schools here once a month about careers, education, and my story as well. And you don't have to pick one career when you're in high school and that's it the rest of your life. You can have 2, 3, 4, 5 different careers, but you also have to have a strong mindset. You're going to have people who support you, but you're going to get skeptics, naysayers, in some cases haters. You have to block out the noise. I hope that answers your questions.
Brilliantly said. Yes, I agree. And that's beautiful.
Now I'm 5'5", 5'4".
Yeah, what's up with that? You've been shrinking lately. You told me that.
That's what happens when you turn 50.
No, 54. Don't lie on air now. You're turning 54. I didn't forget.
Thanks for reminding me. You owe me a glass of wine, red or white wine. Which kind of wine do you like?
And a slice of red velvet cake.
And you have to have a little vanilla ice cream with that. When you have red velvet cake.
Of course.
You're welcome to send me a cake next week for my birthday. It's on Monday, June 29th.
June 29th. Okay, I'll remember that.
I'm a Cancer, by the way. My sign is Cancer.
Oh, that's awesome. My sister is a Cancer.
So we're both moody.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
I'm not
one.
gonna comment on that. My sister might be watching, right?
Okay.
And that goes into like it goes into the treasure chest, and then it comes up like
Yep.
a few months after.
Yeah. By the way, you have nice nails too, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Pink.
Representing summer.
Is that your favorite color, or do you like mint? Do you have particular favorite colors?
I just like to go a little spunky, and I like to go with
Spunky.
color. As you can see, like I have my lime green purse that I always have color around me. I love color. And so I love to explore with color. So every time I go, I change my nails. It just depends on my mood. So this means I'm in a happy mood, right? And we're going with pink for summer.
That's
So
good.
it's really good.
Hey, I just like short ones and neutral color.
Okay.
That's what and that's what I love about this show too. Just it's storytelling and connecting with my guests and having a natural conversation. Because be honest, when I started this 7 years ago, all my shows were scripted. I wasn't very good,
Oh, really?
and I had somebody from TSN watch me, kept saying, "Chris, keep doing what you're doing, but." Don't script everything. Have natural conversations. I obviously do prepare some stuff ahead of time on piece of paper and that, but I just learned to think on my feet. And the way I talk to you is how I talked to people when I was in security. And that career in security really helped me develop my media skills. So even though I left that company after 24 years, being in that industry really helped me with being in media, because when you're in security you have to learn to think on your feet, you have to talk, listen, and ad-lib as well, and having natural conversations too. It makes my guests feel comfortable, and it makes for a better show for everybody.
Yes, definitely. And it comes from you really being passionate about your work and loving what you do, because that shows through it as well.
Yeah. And by the way, as we wrap this show up, you have an open invite to come back on my show, this show, or the Small Talk podcast with my co-host Maureen Sharp. She's out of Los Angeles. She's in the cartoon animation industry, and we do a show once a month called the Small Talk podcast. So you're welcome to come back on that show in July or August, or you're welcome to come back on here anytime.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. And I'll make sure to have a fun fact about myself for that show.
And a slice of cake for
I'll
me.
create something, a fun fact.
Fun fact. And by the way, where can our audience follow you on social media? And again, the best way of contacting you. And
So
plug
best
your
way of
book.
contact.
And plug your book too.
Yeah, so best way of contact would be just send me a DM on Instagram. That's the best way. I'm always on the platform and currently reinventing, but that would be the best way right now. Or as we mentioned, email if that's preferred. That's also a way to reach out to. And my book is now available on Amazon. And feel free, the next 10 people that reach out, they're going to get a free copy of my book. So be brave and send me a message.
I reached out, so I'm number one.
Okay.
I make you laugh. Good. It's better make my guests laugh than cry.
Oh, I agree. Definitely. Laughter and humor. That's the most important part.
We need one of it. And by the way, I've had a couple of female ventriloquists on my show too. One from LA, Christine Berger, and one from Australia, Lindy Jane, where I had to do the show at 3:30 in the morning because Australia is about 14 hours ahead of us.
Oh wow.
She was supposed to make a puppet of me.
Okay, that would be interesting.
Yes, she's a good person. I'm hoping to get her back on the show.
Yeah. So quickly, what's a fun fact about you?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot as we wrap this up. Fun fact about me. I've never been on an airplane. I'm left-handed. Okay. Okay. I've never been on an airplane. I've never been out to Calgary, Alberta. I've been to more of the states in my own country, which hopefully in the next couple of years will change. And I went to school for law and security, and I just love what I'm doing. And I love talking to people and learning, and I love doing this show. And another fun fact about me is I think the biggest one is I've never been on an airplane, so I should try that one day. I should try
what's the reason for that? Is it
Fear of heights and small spaces.
Fear of heights and
Heights,
small
spaces.
spaces.
Yeah. I don't even
Okay.
like being in elevators.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Now
So
everybody
yeah,
knows.
yeah. So is that something that you want to overcome?
I would
Or
like to try flying one day. I would like to try flying. But I also would like to drive out to Western Canada too.
okay,
That would
definitely.
take
No, you have to.
a little longer than flying out.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. Okay, we're gonna get you on a plane before the end of the year. Okay, just so you know.
But you make sure you have red velvet cake waiting for me.
Okay,
Okay,
gotcha.
you won't want to eat it after talking about it with me tonight. But hey, Jeneique, I want to say thank you so much for coming on here today and giving us almost 90 minutes of your time. And if you can give me a little bit of time tonight, I will send you the video, the audio, and I will edit the reels and clips into
Perfect.
15 to 30-second clips because everyone's attention spans is shrinking these days.
Yes.
And that's my next goal. I'm going to shrink my waistline. The next time we have you on the show, I'm going to at least lose 2 pounds. So next time you come on, I'm going to be 2 pounds lighter.
Hey, if that's what you want to do, that sounds like a great goal.
And good news, I didn't even sit on a phone book tonight.
You didn't what?
I didn't sit on a phone book so you could see me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I see you perfectly.
No, but anyways, hey, I want to say thank you so much for coming on here. Continued success as an author, a life coach, speaker, and a founder of your company called Unlimited Hope and Energy Solutions. I want to say thank you to everybody like Robbie Schneider and Mad Dog 2026 for watching our show, and thank everyone watching live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, X, Instagram, and also this show is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Good Pods, and wherever podcasts are available. So thank you to everyone here, including yourself, Jeneique Gomes, and you have an open invite to come back on my show again in the future.
Yay. Okay, that's very exciting. Thank you. This is
And
amazing. Such a great
I
experience.
would like to check out your book too one day.
Definitely.
Definitely.
I would love that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let you go. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will be in touch with you shortly on social media.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. Have a great night. Thank you.
You too. Thanks, Jeneique. All right, everybody. That concludes season 14, episode 10, overall of 725 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. And again, I want to say thank you to my guest, Jeneique Gomes, for coming on here tonight. And as we wrap up the show, guys, the next Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is going to be Tuesday, June 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern with special guest Dr. Nazem Ibrahimi, a mental performance coach, speaker, author, brought to you by barrycullen.com. So again, Tuesday, June 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern with special guest, her first appearance, Dr. Nazem Ibrahimi, a mental performance coach, speaker, and author will be on, again, brought to you by the folks at Barry Cullen Chevrolet. And as we wrap up this longer than normal show, I'm going to just wanted to let you guys know right now at Barry Cullen Chevrolet, there is an EV health check for change. Help support your local children's hospital with an EV health check for change package. For every package purchase, $10 will be donated to your local children's hospitals. More details at barrycullen.com or drop by their location at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. And the EV health check also includes a 12-volt battery inspection, brake inspection, wiper blade inspection, air filter inspection, tire rotation, and more. So you can get your EV vehicle health check to make sure your vehicle is good and going, and also help a local children's hospital as $10 per EV health check will be donated to the local children's hospital in your area. And again, thank you to Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership for being a part of the show, advertising and sponsoring the show as well. So if you're looking for a new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle, check out Barry Cullen Chevrolet. They are Ontario's #1 electric car sales here in Ontario. So for electrical vehicles, EVs, Barry Cullen Chevrolet is number one there as well. And Mark Cullen, Paul Cullen, and their entire staff do a great job down at Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road in the 905 Woodlawn Road in the Guelph Auto Mall. And again, barrycullen.com, or you can call them at 519-824-0210 as well. And that is about it for tonight's show, guys. Again, I want to say thank you to Jeneique Gomes, life coach, speaker, author, and the founder of Unlimited Hope in Energy Solutions, for coming on our show. And I'm really looking forward to our next show, which is going to be Tuesday, June 23rd, 8 p.m. with special guest Dr. Nazim Ibrahimi, mental performance coach and speaker and author, again brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership. And I want to say thank you to the Hamilton Tiger Cats organization on Friday night for having me down as freelance media for the Tiger Cats 41-27 win over BC. And thank you to Scott Crawford in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame for having me down for their 2026 class ceremony. And please check out my interviews with Devon White, Bill Stoneman, Stubby Clapp, and Kate Soda. And I have some pictures, some videos, some interviews, and some photos from the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame as well. It's been a busy month for me with the Niagara Falls Comic Con. Thank you to Chad Smith. And I just love doing what I'm doing. And I want to say thank you to you, the audience, watching this show and listening to this show. And I'm going to continue to get great guests and have great shows and produce more great content as well. I hope everybody has a great rest of their Monday nights. Enjoy Major League Baseball action. Blue Jays and Astros are playing right now. The Tigers, I believe, defeated the Yankees tonight 5-3. So the Tigers have won now 4 in a row as well. That is about it, guys. Again, thank you to Jeneique Gomes and to everyone for watching and listening to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, hosted by yours truly, Chris Pame, and brought to you by our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership here in Guelph. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you back here Tuesday night at 8 o'clock for another edition of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show.